when people are committed to a team, they'll go to great lengths to accomplish a mission. You know, these guys were really here for each other and just, you know, really throwing their heart into doing it and not letting their teammates down, and in that way not letting themselves down. So, like take Eric today, for example. You know, he's there, team's helping him out. He's trying like hell to keep up, you know, and it's a push for him, but he's doing an amazing job. He's doing it for his teammates, which in turn, you know, is bringing him energy. So he's doing it for himself too. It's that insight, you know, I've had that for a long time, obviously because it's a core tenet of what we teach, but it's just so cool to see it in action in such a powerful way. Close the gap.
Come on, Eric, you got it, buddy.
This is only hard if you make it hard. That doesn't mean you won't be sweating, doesn't mean your feet won't hurt and your knees won't hurt and your hips won't hurt. They will. But that's just temporary illusion of suffering. Right? So this is all in our mind. Everything. Right? You create your own reality. So decide right now to create the reality of this being really enjoyable and simple, but not easy. Every day we're going to be able to have some dialogue, and you know, the idea or the intention behind that is to give you something to reflect upon while we're moving, and then we'll reinforce it in the afternoon and come back and say, okay, what do we learn from that? That'll be the time for some feedback and some sharing. But the morning is about preparing to win in your mind, in your heart, in your soul before we step foot onto the battlefield. That's the warrior's way. We don't go out there and just hope to win. We prepare to win, we secure the win, and then we go out and achieve the win.
I've been noticing that the physical part keeps me thinking, able to talk to other guys about, you know, similar situations, and we share our thoughts, and you know, we have our moment of silence that we kind of like soak it in and realize that there is a lot of problems that we got to fix and tweak it here and tweak it there.
I want to serve vets, but I feel like I'm really lacking serving my family members. I feel like there's a big disconnect there, and I feel like I owe them better. I have to be well in order for them to get something out of me. I think it's still forming that.
I'm here because I fell into a hole due to my injuries, and I want to give back. My guys, they lost their lives doing something that they were supposed to do, and me being here is a sacrifice that I'm willing to take because they had to sacrifice something of their own.
There's no such thing as perfection, there's just perfect effort. So not everything's going to go according to plan. There's no plan survives contact with the enemy. So you're going to have shit that doesn't work out. You're going to have thoughts you feel like you shouldn't have had. You're going to say things you feel like you shouldn't have said. You're going to do things you feel like you shouldn't have done. And you're going to get shit done to you that you think shouldn't have been done to you. And so part of the training here is to learn how to not react. Because ultimately, the only thing we can control is our internal mental and emotional states and how we respond to situations. So we don't react.
I say it's a puzzle. My life is a big puzzle, and there's one piece missing. And until that piece is found,
because I let myself overthink, and
I'm trying to find that piece. You can have PTSD from a car crash, but in terms of warriors, they see some things that no human being should ever have to see. And once you see them, the images never go away. They're always there. So It's finding the way to repaint that image. I've learned to deal with things, and then again, I haven't. So some days are good, some days are bad. It's very uncontrollable at the moment, and that's why being with Mark and having him tell me that I can beat it, or I'm better than it, or it's an amazing motivational tool to carry us forward. But it's hard, you know, because with the brain injury comes the forgetfulness. So that in turn, you know, it brings up anxiety, and then it's a cycle. And if I can break that cycle, I can begin to take control of my thoughts, take control of my actions, and not let somebody else be in control.
Good. Warrior 2. You know that once you commit, there's no going back, right? You have committed fully. Now, if you get injured, or if maybe you've had an assessment issue where you just didn't assess the magnitude of what was coming at you, that's a different story. But generally speaking, if you've prepared for something, you've done all your research, you've done the physical and mental prep, and now it's your time to go, mission go, then it's all in, burn your boats, okay? Just like we did for this whole Greece event, we're all in to finish 8 days of trekking through Greece, 220 miles or whatever it is. The only easy day was yesterday, so it doesn't matter. First comes commitment. Now that commitment, that deep commitment, especially when done with a team, you got your team at your back, that's what stokes courage. If you think you're gonna go forth with courage without the commitment, you're wrong. It's the commitment that breeds courage. Once you have the courage backed by commitment, then it gives you the energy to develop the competency.
I want to redeem myself from yesterday, so I'm determined. PTSD is a cold son of a bitch. When you can break past that cold-heartedness and you can feel that warmth come back inside you, it's like a rebirth of sorts. It's where you want to find yourself again. When you see that there's a positive out there. When you physically want to reach out and touch it, like I did, that's when I knew it was time for me to kick this thing in the butt and better my life. I'm not going to be a victim, because if I let it get the better of me, then I'm just as bad as it is. So it's about moving forward, making positive memories from here on out. I'm pooped, but I'm going to make it. It takes control of your mind. PTSD may affect people in other ways. Mine was in my mind, or my anxiety, going into public. That was a task just in itself, just to leave the house, to get that courage to go outside. That's PTSD. That's the disease saying, you're not good enough, or you have problems, or they don't like you, or you'll never amount to anything. And that's not true. Because I can actually see the positives now. I see, my good friend Joey, I see him smiling, I can see, I see the times where we would hang out and just talk, or, sitting with the guys, when nothing's going on, you have a time to relax, kick your gear off, take your boots off for a little while, just chew the fat. I remember those times now. And before, it was only the dark times. I remember, the day, and it's really nice now that I can see the positive in everything. I can see a smiling face, and I know that, that everything's all right.